Hello, welcome to United Kopitiam, and this is today we're going to talk about, of course, Manchester United, but I think today we're going to talk about Paul Pogba. We're going to talk about Bruno Fernandes. Today we're going to talk about Manchester United's best 11s, like what's Ole's best 11 right now, and of course, a few news running around with regard to our transfer window, our summer transfer window. So this is United Kopitiam. Please put all your comments down below. We really like to listen from Manchester United fans to talk about Manchester United. We really like for you to join the chat and to give your opinions about Manchester United, to give you your opinions about Ole, our performances, about Paul Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, Anthony Martial, and so this is United Kopitiam. Of course, we have coffee right here. Yep. Let's start the ball rolling. Let's ball rolling. But let's talk about Paul Pogba first. I think there's news coming out from yesterday that Paul Pogba is being banned from the training session by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and there's a major bust up between Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and also Paul Pogba. There's a major bust up. He's banned from training. He is not to train with the first team. That he is ready to axe Paul Pogba from the team itself. And I find that news a bit of. I always want to say the word bullcrap. It's a bit of a nonsense. Let's use that word. It's nonsense. And I think because it's a winter break, and we don't have any football currently right now. Because of that, I think because of the break, every time there's an international break, anytime there is some sort of off time from football, Paul Pogba always get targeted, and rightly so. This season is one of Paul Pogba's worst season, I would say, because he's just not there. He's just not here. He's not here to help the team. He's injured, and there's a lot of news about him faking injury and everything. And I think that's why he's being targeted a lot. This season, and yesterday was no difference. He was being targeted for being absent. One of the things that is used as evidence to say that he is being targeted, he is being banned, is that he is not joining, along with Scott McTominay, is not joining the warm weather training in Marbella. But the thing is, Scott McTominay is not there. Paul Pogba is not there. I mean, Scott McTominay probably further along in terms of injury, coming back from injury, probably further along than Paul Pogba. So it's not, and I think the UK media never goes in on Scott McTominay as much, and he has been praising Scott McTominay for his performances. But Paul Pogba, it's always been targeted because he is our 80 million acquisition. He is what everyone wants to talk about, and I think that's why it garners the click, and that's why I think it's utter nonsense. He's not being banned for the team. Ole Gunnar wants him to come back as quick as possible, but I hope he's not coming back as soon as possible. There's news coming out from Sky Sport that they're hoping that he can come back during the Chelsea game, our next game, the Chelsea game. But the thing is, I don't think we should risk it. He should. I'm not saying that he should take his time, but make sure that's 100% fit before he's coming back, because we don't want another injury to Paul Pogba, because that would just be disastrous for us. And I think he's missing 2/3 of the season now. We sometimes we forget that we have a Paul Pogba, and we need him. We need him in the midfield along with Bruno Fernandes. I mean, imagine our midfield with Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba. At the start of the season, the best 11, let's talk about best 11 now. No, at the start of the season, the best 11 that Ole Gunnar have in the midfield, because I think put down your best 11 right in the comment section. But at the start of the season, when it comes to first 11, we the best 11 in the midfield is probably McTominay, Matic, and Pogba. We never know whether Lingard's going to work out, Perez going to work out, or Fred is going to work out, because at the start of the season, we never knew Fred could become as good as he is, and that's only actually two options, Paul Pogba and Scott McTominay, and that's why Ole started with Paul Pogba and McTominay at the beginning of the season, hoping that Lingard can be a good attacking midfield, or Andres Pereira. or Juan Mata. And it has been proven for the whole season, Juan Mata is too old. He doesn't have the leg. He's not going to excel in games where there's a lot of presses on him because he loses the ball easily. And Andres Pereira's skill is just not coming off. He's just not, consistently, he has not been good enough for Manchester United. And I think the Lingard hasn't scored a goal in 2019, hasn't assisted in 2019, and the less said about him, the better. I think he is just a door shut at the moment. So that best 11 in midfield has already been destroyed, and it's always been Rashford, Martial, and someone on the right. For now, is Daniel James. That is at the beginning of the season, the one that we can hope for to actually be good enough. Actually, on the right side of it could be even Lingard, because Lingard actually plays his best game on the flank, but he doesn't play flank well enough because he kept running inside, not doing anything. So I think at the end of the day, when it comes to the best 11 at the beginning of the season, it's not good enough because we only rely on Paul Pogba and our attacking midfield, which is the core team. The attacking midfield is our most important position to actually link the midfield to the attack, to try to create chances, to bring everyone into play. But Lingard hasn't been doing that. So I think it all falls apart when they are unable, when our attacking midfield is unable to break down defenses. And that's why our best 11 at the start of the season has been shattered. And with Bruno Fernandes coming in, it's a different story. So let's talk about the best 11 right now. Like, what is the defense? What is the midfield? What is your striker? For me, De Gea. I think there's a lot of comments about De Gea's performances right now, whether Sergio Romero should replace David De Gea. And as you can see versus Wolves, he's been on his best. He kept clean sheet. And I think a lot of time David De Gea has been let down by not only the defense but also the midfield covering the defense, and that's why we are conceding the goals. We are conceding the goals each and every game. We're conceding odd goals, the weird goals. It's not like a very, very good link up play. They are, but I can consider our defense is good enough to stop that. So that's why I don't think we have been found out too much this season. We have been conceding goals, but we have been known as no attack earlier of the season because Rashford can't do it and can't score a goal. And now we're going to the time where we can't score a goal with Anthony Martial. And the reason is simple, there's no Rashford. So right now, De Gea to me is still our best goalkeeper. And for the past five and six seasons, he is our best player on the pitch. We cannot really fault him for the goals conceded this season, and hence De Gea deserve to be in between the posts. And when it comes to defense, arguments about Lindelof, but he cannot be worse than Paul Jones. He is better than Marcus Rojo, and I think that's why at the end of the day, when it comes to the partnership between Maguire and Lindelof, and it has been tested for the whole season, and I think it's not even them to blame, it's the midfield not covering the defense. When we are not playing well, the defense get pressured and we are going to concede a goal. And hence, Maguire and Lindelof is my best partnership at the moment. Swansea is injured. No sign of him coming back. Phil Jones. Eric Bailly not fit enough, and he's always been getting himself injured. So when you don't have a defender who can stay injury-free for the whole season, or at least more than half of the season, then they can't be in a partnership because you need time to get the partnership to gel together. And that's why it's important that Maguire be beside Lindelof for this season at least. And now both of them are fit. For the full season, they have been fit, and that's why they're the best centre-back partnership for me moving forward. If Swansea comes back and perform better, then all the better for him. But right now, at this moment, what I can see is Maguire and Lindelof. And Lindelof has performed quite well these past few games. I think it's always about that gelling together, the getting to know each other. So that's our best centre-back partnership. And on the right side, no question asked, Wan-Bissaka, best defender. And a lot of people, Ben, best defensive right back, but a lot of people has been saying that he has no attacking sense. But if you see the cross last minute against Wolves into the box, Dalot misses it. he can put in good crosses. He's starting to be able to, and credit to where credit is due, to the coaching staff. I mean, coaching staff has been receiving a lot of flack for being not good enough, but I think at the moment, when it comes to contribution on the right side by Wan-Bissaka, it's been growing, it's been coming, and I'm excited to see what Wan-Bissaka can bring in terms of attacking next season. So on the right side, definitely Wan-Bissaka, he's the one to be grown with us. And on the left side, and there's a question of Shaw and Brandon Williams. Right now, at the moment, Shaw defensively okay, attacking wise okay. He could have gotten the assist versus Wolves. He could have gotten a lot of assists throughout the season, but our attackers are not jumping on his low cross into the box, and the one missed. That's the thing, when he put in a lot of low cross, but one thing about Luke Shaw is we do not see enough overlapping for him, enough attacking sense. His positioning is still, he seems that he's not brave enough after the injury, the horrific injury to him, and to me, that's why Luke Shaw, it's not the better left back at the moment, and he has to fall to Brandon Williams, who has shown his ability defending and also attacking. We cannot tire out an 18 years old. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams, complementing each other on the left side, each coming in for a couple of games. And I think, but at the moment, Brandon Williams has shown more intensity in attacking. He scored goals, and he's driving to assist. He has crosses into the box, and he has low crosses into the box. His left leg is fine. He's a right-footed left back. But that being said, his left foot is not, he can create, and that's why, and he's defending very, very well, and that's why the back line consists of Brandon Williams to be the stronger 11 at the moment. So let's go to the midfield. I think at the moment, Matic, I think I've been impressed with Matic. I've been very, very vocal about Matic incompetence. He's very slow. He's not cowering. He's not pressuring players enough. And against the West Ham game earlier in the season, I've been very critical of him. I said, please get him off. He's not doing anything. And when West Ham scored the goal, he was 2-3 yards. Just looking at the player, and that's what frustrates me about Matic. He is not pressuring, but these past few games, I think he's more committed, he's more passionate, he's been chasing down players, and that's what I love him. When it comes to Matic, he's been doing very, very well, and that's why we should give Matic now, for the moment, when we don't have McTominay, when we don't have McTominay and Pogba coming in, we should give Matic a run out. If he continue to show good performances, these past few games he's been very, very good, and I've been impressed with him. If he continues to show that, and that red card actually stopped him from being named man of the match. So I think he deserved the man of the match the game before Wolves, and before he got sent off. And I think that's why he deserved a spot at the centre defensive midfield. But the problem with Matic is he can't do the job alone. He's slow, so he needs someone beside him, and that's Fred. And then that's why at the moment Fred and Matic has to come in to be the centre defensive midfield, to be the holding midfield, so that we can push Bruno Fernandes up. And that's my best midfield at the moment. There's no question of it, because we don't have anyone else. We have James Garner, but is he good enough to start games? So we don't have anyone else. McTominay is injured, Pogba is injured, Mata, Lingard, Pereira. Wolf game, you can see how bad is Pereira. Whether centre defensive midfield, the holding role, or whether he's attacking. How bad is he? So that's why best 11 should not include Pereira at all. He is not doing a good job, whether it's defensively, whether it's attacking wise. Now the thing is, I always see Audis Pereira as a more attacking player. Probably can put a good cross in, but he put one good cross in and never kind of show that again. And so I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's good enough for Manchester United. I don't think maybe as a bench player coming in for the last 20 minutes, yes, but definitely he's not of Manchester United level. So if he's going to go during the summer, please do. It's not good enough, and that's the same say to Lingard. And Johan Mata, I think his age is catching up. He's the one trying to pull everything to happen during Wolves. He's trying to ping the passes along, but I think he can't do it alone because a lot of when he's being pressured, he kind of loses the ball easily. So that's why we needed Bruno Fernandes on an attacking midfield. So it's very, very clear. Bruno Fernandes attacking midfield, Matic and Fred holding midfield at the moment. Of course, I want Fred to play box to box. I do not want him to stay back like how Bruno Fernandes stayed back during Wolves. That is just horrible to watch. But we need more attacking sense. We cannot be sitting back against Wolves, and that's what we did. But I think at the end of the day, that three midfield is very, very it's above average. It should be beating teams like Wolves. It should be beating teams like Everton. Ancelotti's Everton's quite good actually, but we should be beating the bottom teams. We should be beating the bottom six, the Newcastles, the Bournemouth, the Burnleys. We lost to Burnley 2-0. That was the horrible match. So I think at the end of the day, yes, Bruno Fernandes attacking midfield, McTominay and Fred and Matic will do a good job. Will do above average job. At the moment going forward, and of course let's go to the striker role, which a lot will have question marks on Odion Ighalo. Manchester United fan had an interview. Watch the interview. If you haven't, go to our page or go to Manchester United football page or go to the YouTube. Watch his interview. He's been talking about his fandom of Manchester United. Just like all of us, he grew up being a fan. He grew up watching York and Co. I grew up watching York and Co. And all I'm gonna say is he wants a striker who's gonna break his nose to score for Manchester United. And when you're a fan, you will want to break your nose to score goals. And if we get the Watford Odion Ighalo, he's the first 11. Simple enough, right? So he's the first 11, and Martial's on the right or left. Rashford's on the right, Martial on the left. But Rashford's injured, so I would push Martial out wide because even if you see him playing a striker, he's dropping back, he's moving to the left, he's more comfortable on the left. Trying to cut players in, trying to take on players, because he can't do that in midfield when there's three centre backs ahead of you. You can't dribble, but when there's only one or two, you can try to dribble your way around on the left side. And when he's given that role more prominently, he can create and score goals. I hope so. I want to see against Chelsea, Odion Ighalo right up there. If he is the Watford player that 3 years ago, before he moved to China. I mean, he blasted China out of the water. He was very, very good in China. He scored about 20 over goals in a season in China. So, I think 20 over goals in 30 over games, and that's very, very good stat. But the thing is, it is China League. It is China League, and he has to create a lot of things by himself. So I think when it comes to Chinese League, it's like talking about Malaysian League. You know, if Rooney were to come to Malaysian League, he's going to score a lot of goals and he's going to be shipped right back to Manchester United. But that's that. Odion Ighalo, let's hope he works out. He's 30 years old, he's getting slower. Now the question about Odion Ighalo is, if he does score 15 goals, 10 to 15 goals, do you want to sign him on permanent? And I think as a backup bench option, I would sign him. If he does perform very well for us these 4 months, I would sign him up permanent because I think in summer we should go for one forward, okay? Because, I mean, at Woodward, historically not very good at making fast deals. But we talk about transfer window later. So I think at the moment, I would sign him up. I would sign him up if he does perform very well. Because Odion Ighalo at Watford is a good player. He went to China for money, but he came back with a wage cut. He will break a nose score for us. His passion is there, and I hope it carries on. So carries to all the players. I mean, his passions will kind of irradiate to other players, just like how Bruno Fernandes had passions and leadership will get other players to play better. So I think Odion Ighalo as a striker, and on the left side at the moment, Anthony Martial cutting in, and on the right side, none other than James. Greenwood is still too green. Okay, pun. it's still the green, and I think when he start game he doesn't perform well. So he coming as a substitute. Greenwood would be very good. He scores his goals coming in as a substitute. So yeah, James at the moment, and James has been low on confidence. He has been a broken player. So I hope this training, this 1 week off, in Marbella will do James a whole lot of good, and I hope that Daniel James will perform very well on the right side of the midfield. So I think at the end of the day, yes, Odion Gallo as attacking as a striker, and on the left side with Martial James on the right side. Now that is my first 11 for now, for Ole's best 11 at the moment, right? With injury to Paul Pogba and McTominay. But when Paul Pogba comes back, when McTominay comes back, when Rashford comes back, the whole story is changed. But that's only going to happen in April. But when Paul Pogba and McTominay come back, we're going to see a very interesting midfield competition going on. And at the time, if Rashford hasn't come back, Odegaard is not performing, I can see if Daniel James is not performing, I can see Ole Gunnar using the diamond shape, because then we have a whole load of midfield that's good enough. And let's go to, maybe I would change the diamond shape for Ole Gunnar for the best 11, because keeper done, defense done, Brendan Williams on the left, Wan-Bissaka on the right, and Maguire in the left. I think that partnership has to be consistent, and we have to sustain that defense. And when we go to midfield, we are talking about Fred, McTominay. Fred has been doing so well in McTominay absence, in Pogba absence, and he's been our January man of the match, where everybody else just played bad football. And we lost a couple of games in January, but Fred came out, I think, unscathed in the whole January, and he should be rewarded for that. So he's going to start alongside McTominay. Or McTominay being the base of the midfield, and Fred is going to be the higher up. Fred and Pogba is going to be the higher up in the center midfield. McTominay being the holding midfield, and Bruno Fernandes being the attacking focal point. That is the diamond that we're talking about. And that midfield can blast teams, can blast Manchester United, and I dare say can blast Liverpool. We can give Liverpool a match. Losing the game badly, we didn't actually lose very, very badly in terms of scoreline, kind of flatter us. But with that midfield, I think it will control the midfield. And you see Martial drift to the left a bit, and maybe Odion Igalo starting the striker. Martial and Bruno can be flanking him, creating for Odion Igalo. And I think that is our best 11, because Daniel James comes in well as a sub. His speed is going to terrorize the tired legs, and Greenwood also comes in best as a sub. So when we but that is without Rashford, because McTominay and Pogba might come back earlier than Rashford. But when Rashford is back, Rashford's on the left, Martial's in the middle. Because I can tell you, Martial misses Rashford, Rashford misses Martial. When Martial wasn't there, Rashford plays badly. And when now Rashford isn't there, Martial is playing badly. So that's why that if we can have them both in the same attack, in the same striking role, it will be perfect. It will be very, very very good attacking. And on the right side, whether we want to put Igalo in the middle, push Martial up to the right wing, then that's that good dilemma that we're gonna have, and we need that. We need something positive dilemma for Ole to choose the players, but who's you gonna drop back in midfield? Then we have three midfields, right? Paul Pogba cannot drop, Bruno Fernandes cannot drop. Who are you gonna drop? Fred or McTominay? Please tell me in the comments whether you think Fred is better, McTominay is better. Because Fred has been contributing so much, and I feel bad for leaving him out just because McTominay is back. He has to fight his way back. And I think I will put Fred at the moment as a holding midfield with Paul Pogba, because 4-2-3-1 it's what Ole Gunnar wants to do. So attacking midfield, Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, and partnering Fred. And we have a tall option with Paul Pogba for the defensive set pieces. And even attacking set pieces, we have a tall person to be heading the ball. Paul Pogba will be the focal point. And that's why it's important that we have Paul Pogba and McTominay back. I don't trust the nonsense that's being spat out. by the media about banning Paul Pogba. So that's my best 11. What's the best 11? Let's say when Paul Pogba and McTominay is back and Russia's back. So I really think Odion Ighalo can do a good job. I'm hoping that he can do a good job. He's not just coming in to be on the bench, and I think I hope he can score close to 10 goals this season, and that would be marvelous. Ighalo striking Rashford on the left and Martial on the right, and they can interchange. So that's my best 11. So let's move on. Let's talk about Bruno Fernandes debut against Wolf, and I would like to know what do you think. And I think put your comment down below. And I think one of the worst things that happened during the match is putting Bruno Fernandes as centre defensive midfield as a holding role. But that's probably what caused us to not lose the game. He actually controlled the midfield when he was back there. So that's a dilemma for Ole. He doesn't want to lose the game. He's hoping he can create from so deep back. But when I watch, I get really, really frustrated. I was like, why is Bruno Fernandes there? Go attack, damn it. But if you analyze the whole game, if you analyze how important he was in the holding role when we don't have matches, then you kind of, okay, we didn't lose that game because of him. But we also lost the attacking spark. The thing is, sometimes I think when it comes to games, you have to attack. You have to pressure the defensive line of the opponent. And we could have gotten a goal or two out of that. And Manchester City has always been about score more goals than you concede. Of course, they come undone versus Tottenham, losing 2-0, where they actually obliterated the opponent. Tottenham was crap that night, but 3 shots, 2 goals, bang. So sometimes that's football. But I'd rather lose attacking than to draw defending, because then we get a good match out of it and we can see what Ole Gunnar is trying to build with the team with Bruno coming back. And I'll put Fred way back there to hold the midfield up, to spray the passes along, and Bruno to create, because you are taking the attacking creativity out of the games. Mata can't do it, Pereira can't do it, and when Lingard came in, he done nothing apart from the one shot which went to nowhere. So it's pivotal. No matter what, Bruno Fernandes has to play as attacking midfield. He has to be the one linking players, the midfield to the attacker, to the strikers. And I think that it's very important. It's very important for Bruno Fernandes to actually influence the game up top. So we have stats here: 88 passes, which is most on the pitch. 44 final quarter of the pitch. Final passes is also most on the pitch. 5 shots on goal, most on the pitch. 3 shots on target, most on the pitch. Granted, all shots are outside because he got so frustrated. Nobody is getting to the end of his creativity. Again, you need to train a lot with your teammates to get that creativity. So he gets frustrated. He lashed out a shot from far. He's confident in the ball, and I'm happy that he did it, because it shows us who he is, and he wants to score a goal. And I've been always saying, when the midfield is packed, try your luck outside. Nobody seemed to want to try from outside. And when they did try, it ballooned up into the car park. So it's very, very interesting to see that Bruno Fernandes trying from outside, and 3 of them were on target. One of them was almost at the corner, which keeper had difficulty getting hold of it. So I think at the end of the day, Bruno Fernandes had a quiet, I would say quiet, considerably quiet debut, but for his standard. But at the end of the day, he can create, he shows glimpses of his ability, and I hope that training in Marbella, this break will do him will do him really, really good. We want him to be performing on the pitch and attacking midfield. Don't put him back. And I hope Matic come back in time to be holding the Fred box to box, and Bruno Fernandes just influencing the game as attacking midfield, as a creative attacking midfield. We definitely need his creativity, and if Paul Pogba can come in, it will be a world-class midfield. I can see a world-class midfield right there, and there's no reason we cannot get top 4 moving forward, because Chelsea bought no one. Second half of the season is always going to be more difficult because leagues are getting tired with Champions League coming in, FA Cup coming in, It's going to get more difficult for Chelsea. They are going to have tired legs, and bottom teams are going to capitalize on that because they stay fresh because they don't have Europe. Even though the teams are small, they don't have Europe, they get the time to recuperate 1 week time. So we shall see a very inconsistent Chelsea, which is not, they have a good midfield, but they don't have that just like us. But when Paul comes back, when Tomini comes back, we start to have a little bit of gap, a little bit of depth. And Odion Ighalo and Rashford comes back in late April, which is actually quite late, to be honest. We have every chance to get in the top 4, and we should be getting in the top 4, and there should be no reason why we are not getting in the top 4. So please, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, this is your chance. If you don't get in the top 4, I think he's gone and Poch is coming in. And to be honest, I have a sense that Poch is just waiting in the wings, and I think he's going to come in regardless. But I do not know what's going to happen at the end of the season, whether Poch is going to come in. The sign shows that he's going to come in, but there is a huge chance for us to get in the top 4, and we should be getting in the top 4. No question about it. So Bruno Fernandes, very good debut, and I hope he can build on that to get us to 3 points against Chelsea and the games after that. So that's done about Bruno Fernandes. Let's talk about the summer transfer window. Wow, just ended the winter and we're talking about summer. Yes, news are streaming in. This is Manchester United. Manchester United is always going to get a lot of talks with regard to summer transfer. It's clicks, okay? So United Captain, drink coffee. So yeah, we are going to talk about, first of all, what's the budget? 100 million, 200 million? Pogba's going to go. When Pogba goes, would you like Jack or Madison, or would you like Grealish? To me, the thing is, I'm going to step on reality rather than fantasy, right? Fantasy is Jadon Sancho. Fantasy is like we have 300 million to spend. Fantasy, 5 players to come in. Right, we have Jack Grealish coming in, Madison coming in, Pogba did not go. That's fantasy, and we have Timo Werner coming in. That's fantasy. I don't see Timo Werner coming in. I don't see players who are already very good because he has a wealth of options from Liverpool to Chelsea to Man City to Real Madrid to Barcelona. Why would he come to Manchester United? You see, when Barcelona and Real Madrid is sniffing, you know that we are not going to get anyone. Because for some reason, these players like to go to Spain, like to go to Barcelona, like to go to Real Madrid. They don't have any much competition in that league, and they can show off themselves. When it comes to Premier League, they need to perform much better. They need to be on their guard. They need to be 100%. So it's the toughest league in the world, and that's why I think at the end of the day, players coming into EPL will have to be either very good or very thick face to face all the criticism. So it's not easy coming to EPL, and Spanish league is way easier to perform. And I see Timo Werner either staying in Germany, go to Bayern Munich, or go to Spain and Barcelona, or one of the better team on earth right now, best team on earth right now, Liverpool. So that's why I don't think Timo Werner it's a reality. It's much of fantasy signing for me. Jadon Sancho, same thing. I don't think he wants to come. Provided we have Champions League football. And a lot of people are saying that he wants to go to Chelsea. I think, why Chelsea? Chelsea is just worse than us. They might be in the 4th spot. They might get the Champions League. But historically, they're not good enough, as good as Man City and Liverpool at the moment. Roman Abramovich are not looking to spend a lot of money anymore. And that's why, and Chelsea has always been the team that irritates me because they're changing manager too fast, and we are doing that right now, so we are being ridiculed along with Chelsea, and there just seems some air of arrogance in terms of Chelsea. So I won't put Chelsea. The thing is, Chelsea has not been good enough. It's gonna be very tough to bring Chelsea back, and it's not a great team. It's not, historically, they're not a great name. So at the end of the day, why would Jadon Sancho or even Timo Werner choose Chelsea over us? If anyone chooses Chelsea over us, it's only because of money, and money is already not something that's readily available for Chelsea by Roman Abramovich, and I think Jadon Sancho, if he does move again, it can be Real Madrid, it can be Barcelona. These are the two top players that Real Madrid and Barcelona are going to look at. Haaland's not going to move half a season in, he's going to score more goals, and his 63 million release clause is only effective starting 2022. At the end, I mean, in 2022, only he can be bought for 63 million release clause, which is quite low for a player who's going to score 30 to 40 goals per season of Haaland quality at the moment. He scored 8 in 4. That's incredible stats for Haaland. But then again, German league, against all the small teams. But that shows a good player. Like I said, Bruno Fernandes in Portuguese league, he is the best player. He has the best stats. If the best player and best stats in Portugal is not fit enough for the top team, then no one in Portugal is fit enough for the top team. So that's why I'm very excited about Bruno Fernandes' best stats in Portuguese last season. This season, 8 goals, 7 assists in the Portuguese league. So I think it's good enough. So when it comes to Jadon Sancho, Timo Werner, I don't see us getting them at all. But I always be saying that Hakim Ziyech is the next right thing, is the next best thing. And we should be looking at Hakim Ziyech. But there's no news about Hakim Ziyech going anywhere, which is question mark, which is a real question mark. And I can see Hakim Ziyech's kind of player going to Chelsea, going to Manchester United. I mean, I just dropped Manchester United to the level of Chelsea, but sadly that might be the reality at the moment. But moving forward, yes, I think Hakim Ziyech is a right choice, and he has been tearing it up in the Dutch league. With Ajax, and even Champions League, he's been doing quite well, although Ajax did not qualify for the next round. But I think at the end of the day, we do have a very good player in Hakim Ziyech, and we should be looking at him. But no news at all about Hakim Ziyech. And we need a right wing. We definitely need a right wing or a forward. And I would spend part of the money. Let's say we get 100 million. 150, because Pogba was going to be sold at 150. Let's say we get 150 millions in transfer in the summer. That's 50 millions. That 50 millions to, if you wanted to buy Hakim Ziyech, it's only 30 to 40 million, and we still have about 120 millions left. Because even if you try to get another good right wing, which is going to cost about 50 millions, we still have another 2 players of 50 millions to come in, and I think that this is what we should aim for. We should not. If Jadon Sancho does not want to come, it's going to be dragged on the whole transfer summer, and then we don't get anyone to come, and that would be a shame and disappointment. So I don't want us to be spending too much time with Timo Werner and Jadon Sancho. And that's why I say, if Odion Ighalo does bang in 10 to 15 goals, keep me as backup, because Martial Rashford is going to be the main starter. The main starting players, and then on the right side we need a solution, and Greenwood and James will come as a very good substitute for the team. So that's why I say when it comes to the striker, even last season I would say that striker is one place that I would negate for the moment, because we need to strengthen our midfield. As midfield is the most important part of the pitch, because if the midfield fails, the whole team fails. Games are won and lost in the midfield, so we need a midfield. As a matter of fact, for the transfer summer, in summer we need 2 midfielders, one centre defensive midfield and one attacking midfield to replace Paul Pogba. Pogba's gonna go, but in the slight chance that he doesn't go, that would be amazing. That he wants to stay with Bruno Fernandes coming in, but he wants to go, and if he's gone, we have 150 million to play with, and get a centre defensive midfield, because. That's why right wing, my top pick is Hakim Ziyech at the moment. Comes in experience, 27 years old next this season, I think 27 years old, has the experience on the wing, play for us for 3 to 5 seasons, bringing up Greenwood and James on the right wing, nurturing them on the right wing. We need midfield experience at the moment, not the old experience like 30 years old, 40 years old, but at 27 years old, perfect. Come in for a few seasons, train the young ones, make the right wing his, bring Manchester United back up to the top. I think Martial, with his intricate play, also Martial and Rashford will benefit from it. Bruno Fernandes will benefit from it. So yes, That's my topic, and Hakim Ziyech is only going to come for 20 to 30 millions, and that's why we needed to look at Hakim Ziyech. And when Paul Pogba goes, we have options. We have Jack Grealish, we have Madison's, we have Donny van der Beek, and my pick among this all, and I don't see a difference between James Madison and Jack Grealish. James Madison maybe being more level-headed, and I can tell you Jack Grealish has a lot of disciplinary problems growing up, partying and stuff like that. A little bit of Beckham. But I see his ability, and I see his ability to. He's been playing up top. Actually, to we can even get James Madison and Jack Grealish. But Jack Grealish does plays on the wing for Aston Villa at the moment, and if he can play on the left, maybe he can play on the right. So he's not so much of an attacking midfield at the moment, and he is purely attacking. And if we do bring in Jack Grealish, Bruno Fernandes can play box to box and influencing the games in a slightly deeper role, and he can run up and down. I can tell you, and Jack Grealish will be influencing the game on top. Even if Hakim Ziyech doesn't come in, I think Jack Grealish can come in, and for about 15 minutes, I think he'll do a great job. And if Paul Pogba goes and James Madison, Jack Grealish both comes in, that is really, I mean, it's starting to skirt around the fantasy lane, right? To have both of them to come in and another Ndidi to come in. Let's say, let's not gonna let go Ndidi and Madison in the same summer. I'll be very surprised if that happened, but I do wish that happened because Ndidi is my best choice at the moment for centre defensive midfield. But we have to look at Boubakary Soumaré, right? This centre defensive midfield, good pass in him, good on the ball, always looking to pass forward. This is the player we need, not like Matic, very slow on the ball, looking past left and right. But granted, he's been passing forward, so that's why I'm not going down on Matic at the moment. But yes, we need to look at Ndidi. We need to look at players like Boubakary Soumaré. These are the two players, two choice. Thomas Partey for Atletico Madrid. Not sure whether it's really close. It's at the moment. But the noise so much is always up top at the moment. There's nothing much on centre defensive midfield. There's a little bit talk about Koulibaly, but that's not rife at the moment. So I think the talk has been Jadon Sancho. All this while has been Jadon Sancho, and I think that's bordering on fantasy to come back. Jack Grealish would be a very good pick, along with James Madison would be a very good pick for the transfer, for the summer transfer. I hope it happens. I hope that this is my summer transfer list is James Madison and Jack Grealish, Hakim Ziyech and Ndidi or Boubakary Soumaré. Whatever it is, it's two midfield, one defensive midfield, one attacking midfield, and one forward. We need a centre defensive midfield. We need when we talk about McTominay, Fred, they are not out and out centre defensive midfield, and we need an out and out centre defensive midfield. Then we have a world-class midfield, a centre defensive midfield. Pogba goes, come in box to box or attacking midfield in terms of James Madison. That would be awesome. So only 3 players. I only want 3 players, and that's more on the reality lane, as opposed to 5 players. James Madison, Jack Grealish, Brexit FC again, and that's not making it. And Ndidi, but Ndidi, James Madison is not gonna go. So Boubakary Soumaré, young, but McTominay is slightly older than Fred is older. So yeah, coming in a young player is fine. Bruno Fernandes is older. Madison, and probably if Hakim Ziyech or Jack Grealish on the flank, because Jack Grealish has been doing on the flank. People look at him as an attacking midfield, but he has been playing on the flank for Aston Villa. He's been influencing games, he's scoring goals, he's been assisting. So at the end of the day, I only want 3, and it seems there's only 3 with the Euro coming in, But the good thing is, push back to September 1. I always say that the transfer window is crap, ending so early. For the last 2 seasons, we got Fred, and we only got 3 players in. Wan-Bissaka, Daniel James, and we never do anything in May, and then start in June, and then you take 4 weeks to talk about one deal, and it took so long for Daniel James to come through, took so long for Wan-Bissaka to come through, took so long from who do you got? It took so long for Harry Maguire to come in. This is just crap, at the end of the day. So that transfer window, the timing is purely nonsense. It's moved back to where it is. Arsene Wenger, there's one thing I hate Arsene Wenger for, is that transfer window, closing it early. So at the end of the day, now it's back to normal. September, we have more time. Hated that Woodward takes so long putting in nonsense bids, putting in what people would say disgusting or very insulting bids in. So I think at the end of the day, I think at the transfer window, I want to see 3 players coming in, at least, mostly on the midfield, center defensive, midfield, which is Sumari, because I don't think we can get Ndidi and Madison. Of course, Madison, 80 million, Sumari, 40 million, 120 million, and Jack Grealish, another 50 million. That's not even 200 million. And we sold Paul Pogba for 150 million. We have only spent a net spend of 20 to 30 million, and that at Woodward will be very happy. But the biggest question remains, who will be our boss come next season? Will it be Ole? Will it be Pochettino? So it's only this season to see. So I think at the end of the day, let's wrap this up. I'm very happy with Bruno Fernandes' purchase, very happy with his first game. Pogba's news, I think it's a wrap-up, it's a recap. Pogba news is purely utter nonsense. About him being banned, utter nonsense. We just want him back immediately, as soon as possible. As soon as he's 100% fit, don't rush him back. So Pogba, McTominay come-in is going to be very important. My first 11 wrap-up for now is Odion Igalo as a striker, right wing Martial, left wing Martial, right wing James. Midfield would be Matic, Fred, and Bruno Fernandes. Defense, Brendan Williams on the left, Bissaka on the right, and Harry Maguire to partner Lindelof. And of course, our best keeper, our most consistent keeper for the past 6 years, De Gea. That's my best 11 at the moment. And to wrap up the summer transfer, I want 3 players. The news is always about Jadon Sancho, Timo Werner. I think there's fantasy lane. So dropping back to the ground, players who want to come and play for Manchester United, Jack Grealish, Madison, and of course, Boubakary Soumare. He rejected Newcastle of 40 million bid, I think, because he's waiting for a bigger offer. And I think he should. Going to Newcastle, so what? Continue playing with Lille and come in to Manchester United. Okay? Thank you for watching, and you have a nice day. Coffee.